Commander Thexkar stood 12 feet tall on the bridge of his warship. His black shell shined under the red lights. Sharp claws clicked against the metal floor as he walked. His four eyes looked at the star map floating in front of him. For 1,000 years, the Vorthak Empire had ruled the galaxy. They were the strongest. They were the smartest. They were the most feared. No other species could fight them and win. Thexkar had conquered 47 worlds. He had watched 47 different species kneel before him. Some tried to fight, some tried to run, some tried to hide. All of them failed. "Commander," said his second officer, Nexthal, "we are close to the new system." Thexkar turned his massive head. His teeth were like knives. "What do the scans show?" "1 star, 9 planets. Only the 3rd planet has life. How many beings live there?" "About 8 billion, Commander." Thexkar made a sound like laughter. It was cold and scary. 8 billion? That is more than most worlds we take. "Yes, but they are weak," Nexthal said. "They fight each other with simple weapons. They use fire and metal. No energy shields, no plasma guns." The commander walked to the big window. Space was dark around them. Stars looked like tiny lights far away. Soon another world would bow to the Vorthak Empire. "Tell me about their technology," Thexkar said. Nexthal touched a button. Pictures appeared in the air. "They call themselves humans. They have many small nations. Always fighting, they just learned to fly between planets. Their ships are slow and weak." Thexkar looked at the pictures. The humans were small. They had no shells, no claws, no natural weapons. Their skin looked soft and pink. They would break easily. "They look pathetic," he said. "How do they fight?" "With metal tubes that shoot small pieces of metal. They also use explosives, very basic chemistry." "And their leaders?" "They cannot agree on anything. Each nation wants different things. Some humans have more food than others. Some have better weapons. They waste time arguing instead of working together." This made Thexkar happy. Divided enemies were easy enemies. "Perfect. Send the message." The communication officer pressed buttons on his control panel. A signal went out through space toward the 3rd planet. It would take a few minutes to reach them. On the bridge, 50 Vorthak warriors stood ready. Each one was a perfect killer. Their shells could stop bullets. Their claws could cut through steel. Their minds were sharp like their weapons. Thexkar had never felt fear. The word did not exist in their language. Why would apex predators need such a word? They were at the top. Nothing could threaten them. He thought about the last world they conquered. The Zetalians were tall and strong. They had good weapons and fast ships. But they surrendered after just 3 battles. Before that, the Crystalline Collective tried to fight. Their bodies were made of living rock. They were very hard to kill. But fear made them weak. After Thexkar destroyed their moon, they gave up. This human world would be the same. Maybe easier. "Commander," the communication officer said, "we are getting a response." "Put it on the screen." The main viewer showed a human face. It was a male with black hair and dark eyes. He wore a blue uniform with metal pieces on it. Behind him, other humans worked at control panels. "I am Captain Deho of the Earth Defense Coalition," the human said. His voice was calm. "State your purpose." Thexkar stepped forward. His huge form filled the screen. The human's eyes got a little wider, but he did not look away. "I am Commander Thexkar of the 47th Vorthak Conquest Fleet. We have come to add your world to our empire. You have 2 choices. Submit now, and live as slaves. Fight us and die." Captain Deho was quiet for a moment. Thexkar could see other humans talking behind him. Some looked scared. "Good. How long do we have to decide?" Deho asked. "1 of your days. Then we begin. I need to talk to my leaders. We will contact you with our answer." The screen went black. Nexthal laughed. "They want to talk. Like all the others. They will surrender by tomorrow." But Thexkar was thinking. Most species begged right away. They cried and promised to serve. This human had been different. Calm. Not afraid enough. "What do you think, Commander?" asked Nexthal. They will submit. They always do. But keep the weapons ready. Hours passed. The Vorthak fleet waited in the dark of space. Their ships were huge and black. Each one carried enough firepower to destroy a city. There were 50 ships in the fleet, more than enough for one small planet. Finally, the communication panel beeped. Captain Deho appeared on the screen again. This time a woman stood next to him. She had short black hair and wore a uniform with more metal pieces. "I am Admiral Yu Jin," the woman said. "I speak for all humans." Thexakar showed his teeth. "Good. You will surrender?" Admiral Yu Jin looked right at him. Her eyes were hard like steel. "We have discussed your offer." "And?" "Our answer is no." Silence filled the bridge. No species had ever said no. Not like this. Not so simply. "You refuse?" Thexkar asked. "We refuse. Do you know what we have done to other worlds?" "Yes. We know about the Zetalians. We know about the Crystal Collective. We know about all 47 species you conquered." This surprised Thexkar. How did they know so much? "Then you know you cannot win," he said. Admiral Eugen smiled. It was not a happy smile. "Maybe. But you should know something about humans, Commander. We have a saying on our world. It goes like this: you can have peace or you can have Earth. You cannot have both." Captain Deho stepped forward. "We also have another saying. If you want to take our home, you better bring more ships." The screen went black again. The bridge was very quiet. Nexthal looked confused. "Commander, what do we do?" Thexkar stared at the dark screen. For the first time in his long life, he felt something strange, something new. He did not know what to call it. It would be a long time before he learned the human word for it: fear. 3 hours passed. Commander Thexkar paced on his bridge. His heavy steps made the metal floor shake. He could not understand what happened. No species had ever said no to the Vorthak Empire. Not once in 1,000 years. "Commander," said Nexthal, "should we attack now?" "No, we will show them our power first, then they will beg for mercy." Thexakar walked to the weapons control station. The officer there was smaller than him, but still deadly. All Vorthak were warriors. "Target their moon," Thexakar ordered. "Which moon, Commander?" "The big one, the one closest to their planet." The weapons officer pressed buttons. On the main screen, crosshairs appeared over Earth's moon. It was white and round, turning slowly in space. "Main cannon charged, Commander." "Fire!" A beam of pure energy shot from the Vorthak flagship. It was bright red and hot as a star. The beam hit the moon and went straight through it. For a moment, nothing happened. Then cracks appeared on the moon's surface. Light came out of the cracks. The moon split in half. The two pieces drifted apart slowly. Rocks and dust filled the space around them. Where Earth's moon had been, now there was only debris. "Send them another message," Thexkar said. The communication officer opened a channel to Earth. This time, the screen showed a different room. It looked like a military command center. Many humans worked at computers. Red lights flashed on the walls. Captain Deho stood in the center of the room. Admiral Eugen was beside him. Both looked tired, but their eyes were still hard. "You destroyed our moon," Deho said. His voice was calm, but Thexkar could hear anger in it. "That was a warning," Thexkar replied. "Your planet is next. Surrender now." "No." The simple word hung in the air. Thexkar felt that strange feeling again. The one he could not name. "You saw what we can do," he said. "We can destroy your world in seconds." Admiral Eugen stepped forward. "Then why haven't you?" This question surprised Thexkar. "What? If you can destroy us so easily, why are you talking? Why not just attack?" Thexkar did not answer. The truth was, he enjoyed watching species surrender. It was more fun than just killing them quickly. "You want us to be afraid?" Eugen continued. "You want us to beg, but we won't." You should be afraid, Nexthal said from behind Thexkar. We are the apex predators of the galaxy. Deho laughed. It was not a happy sound. Apex predators? You want to know about apex predators? Let me tell you something about humans. He walked closer to the screen. We are the species that hunted mammoths with pointed sticks. We are the species that survived ice ages and diseases. We are the species that split the atom just to see what would happen. Your technology is primitive, Thexkar said. Our technology is young, Yujin corrected. But we learn fast. Do you know what we have been doing for the past 3 hours? Thexkar said nothing. We have been studying you, your ship design, your weapons, your weaknesses. We have no weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses. We just need to find them. The screen went black again. On the bridge, the Vorthak warriors looked at each other. This was not normal. Other species never talked like this. They begged. They cried. They offered treasures and slaves. Commander, said the sensor officer, I am reading strange activity around the planet. What kind of activity? Their ships are moving, all of them. They are taking positions around their world. Thexkar looked at the tactical display. Hundreds of small human ships were moving into formation. They looked like insects compared to the Vorthak warships. How many ships do they have? He asked. Over 3,000, Commander, but they are small and weak. 3,000? Thexkar was surprised. Most species had maybe 50 ships when the Vorthak arrived. They are also launching something from their planet's surface, the sensor officer continued. Thousands of small objects. Escape pods? No, Commander. They are spreading out in all directions. Some are moving toward us. Thexkar studied the display. The humans were doing something, but he could not understand what. Their ships were too small to hurt his fleet. Their weapons were too weak to penetrate Vorthak armor. Commander, said another officer, we are getting a message from the scout ship Razor Wing. Put them through. A new face appeared on the screen. It was Sub-Commander Krelth, leader of the fastest ship in the fleet. Commander, we have a problem, Krelth said. One of the human ships rammed us. Rammed you? Yes, sir. A small craft flew straight at us. Our weapons destroyed it, but pieces of it hit our hull. We have minor damage. Thexkar frowned. Why would they sacrifice a ship for minor damage? I don't know, sir. But there is something else. The ship was not trying to escape. It was trying to hit us. This made no sense. No species threw away ships and lives for no reason. Return to the fleet, Thexkar ordered. Yes, sir. The screen went back to the tactical display. More human ships were moving toward the Vorthak fleet. They were small and slow, but there were many of them. Should we destroy them? Asked Nexthal. Yes. Show them what happens when they attack us. The Vorthak fleet opened fire. Red beams of energy shot through space. They hit the human ships and destroyed them instantly, but for every ship they destroyed, 2 more appeared. Where are they coming from? Thexkar demanded. From the planet, Commander. They keep launching more ships. How many do they have? I don't know, sir. They keep building more. Thexkar watched the battle. It was not really a battle. The human ships died easily. But they kept coming, and some of them were getting closer to his fleet. Commander, said the communication officer, we are receiving a transmission from the planet. Put it on screen. This time a new human appeared. He was older than the others, with gray hair and many scars on his face. He wore a simple uniform. I am General Huan Su, the man said. I have a message for you. Speak, Thexkar replied. You destroyed our moon. You killed our people. You think this makes you strong. The general's voice was quiet, but it carried power. You don't understand humans. We are not like other species. What makes you different? When you threaten our home, we don't just fight back. We fight until there is nothing left to fight with, then we make new things to fight with. Then we keep fighting. Your ships are weak. Your weapons are primitive. Yes, but we have something you don't have. What? General Huansu smiled. It was a cold, hard smile. We have nothing left to lose, and that makes us the most dangerous species in the galaxy. The screen went black. On the bridge, Thexakar felt that strange feeling growing stronger. For the first time in his life, he was not sure he would win. 2 days passed. The battle around Earth continued. Commander Thexakar stood in his command center watching the tactical display. Red dots showed his ships. Blue dots showed human ships. There were always more blue dots. Status report, he ordered. Lieutenant Vexmore looked up from his console. His shell was cracked from stress. We have destroyed over 8,000 human ships, Commander. Good. How many do they have left? Unknown, sir. They keep building more. Our sensors show factories on their planet working day and night. Thexakar felt his anger rising. How can they build ships so fast? They are not building good ships, Commander. They are building simple ones, fast to make, easy to replace. But they keep coming. Yes, sir, and they are getting stranger. Stranger how? Vexmore touched his controls. The main screen showed a recording from yesterday's battle. A small, human ship flew toward a Vorthak cruiser. The cruiser's weapons fired, but the human ship did not turn away. It flew straight into the alien vessel. They are ramming our ships on purpose, Vexmore said. Not trying to escape, trying to hit us. Thexakar watched the recording again. The human ship was tiny compared to the Vorthak cruiser. It should have done no damage. But when it hit, something strange happened. The explosion was much bigger than it should be. What caused that explosion, he asked. The human ship was full of explosives, Commander. They turned it into a bomb. A bomb? Yes, sir. They filled it with their most dangerous chemicals. When it hit our ship, it made a hole in the hull. Thexakar stared at the screen. They turned their ships into weapons? All of them, sir. Every human ship that attacks us is ready to explode. This was new. Other species tried to save their ships. They retreated when they were losing. They did not throw their lives away for small damage. Commander, said the communication officer, we have a message from Captain Krelth. Put him through. Krelth's face appeared on screen. He looked tired and worried. Commander, we have a problem. What now? The humans are not just using ships, they are using everything. Explain. They shot rocks at us, big rocks from their asteroid belt. We destroyed them, but more keep coming. Rocks? Yes, sir, but not just rocks. They put engines on them. And bombs. They turn asteroids into missiles. Thexakar felt that strange feeling again. It was getting stronger. Anything else? They are using their own space stations as weapons. When we get close, they explode them. They sacrifice their own people to hurt us. The screen went black. Thexakar looked around his bridge. His officers were quiet. This was not how wars were supposed to work. Sir, said Nexthal, I have been thinking. About what? About humans. They are different from other species. How? Other species fight to win. Humans fight to make sure we lose. Before Thexakar could respond, alarms started ringing. Red lights flashed on the walls. What is happening? He demanded. The sensor officer's voice was full of panic. Commander, we have multiple contacts approaching from all directions. Human ships? No, sir. These are bigger, much bigger. The tactical display showed new contacts. They were huge, almost as big as Vorthak battleships, but they were moving slowly. Where did they come from? Thexakar asked. From the outer system, sir. They were hiding behind the gas giant. How many? 50, no, 60. Sir, there are over 100 of them. Thexakar felt something cold in his chest. How did we miss them? They were powered down, Commander. No heat signature, no energy readings. They looked like dead ships. But they were not dead. As Thexakar watched, the huge ships came to life. Lights appeared on their hulls. Engines started glowing. "Sir," said the communication officer, "we are receiving a transmission." "Put it on screen." A new human face looked at him. This one was a woman with long black hair. She wore a uniform with gold decorations. Behind her, humans worked at battle stations. "I am Colonel Jiwoo of the Earth Strategic Command," she said. "You have been fighting our militia for 2 days. Now you face our military." Militia? Thexkar could not believe it. "Those were not your real ships?" "Those were civilians, Commander. Volunteers. People who wanted to slow you down while we prepared." "Prepared for what?" Colonel Jiwoo smiled. It was not a nice smile. "For this." The screen changed to show the space around Earth. The huge human ships were moving into position. They formed a circle around the Vorthak fleet. "You are surrounded," Jiwoo said. "You wanted to see human military technology. Now you will." The human ships opened fire. But these were not the simple weapons the Vorthak had seen before. These beams were bright blue and white. When they hit Vorthak ships, they cut through armor like it was paper. "Impossible," Nexthal shouted. "Our armor can stop any weapon." "Not these weapons," Thexkar said quietly. He was beginning to understand. "They studied us. They learned how our armor works. Then they built weapons to defeat it." On the tactical display, Vorthak ships were taking damage. Real damage. For the first time in the war, alien vessels were being destroyed. "All ships, return fire." Thexkar ordered. The Vorthak fleet responded. Red energy beams shot toward the human ships. But something was wrong. The beams were not hitting their targets. They were bending away as if pulled by invisible hands. "What is happening to our weapons?" Nexthal demanded. The sensor officer checked his readings. "Sir, the humans are using some kind of field. It is deflecting our energy weapons." "That is impossible. No species has that technology." "The humans do, sir." Thexkar felt the strange feeling growing stronger. It was like ice in his veins. "How?" "I don't know, Commander. But it is working." More Vorthak ships were being destroyed. The humans were not just fighting them, they were winning. "Sir," said the communication officer, "Colonel Jiwoo is transmitting again." Her face appeared on screen. "Commander Thexkar, you look surprised. How did you develop this technology so fast?" "You taught us, Commander. When you destroyed our moon, we studied the energy pattern. We learned how your weapons work. Then we built defenses." "In 2 days?" "In 2 days. Humans are very good at learning, Commander, especially when someone threatens our home. Your defenses cannot last forever. They don't need to. We have something else." "What?" Colonel Jiwoo's smile got wider. "Revenge." The screen went black. Around the Vorthak fleet, the human ships began to move closer. Their weapons kept firing. More alien vessels were dying. "Commander," said Vexmore, "we should retreat." "Retreat?" The word felt strange in Thexkar's mouth. The Vorthak had never retreated from anything. "Yes, sir. We can return with more ships." "No. We are the apex predators of the galaxy. We do not run." But even as he said it, Thexkar knew something had changed. The humans were not acting like prey. They were acting like predators, and for the first time in his life, he was the prey. "Sir," said the sensor officer, "I am reading new contacts. More human ships are arriving." "How many?" "Thousands, Commander. They are coming from everywhere." Thexkar looked at the tactical display. The space around Earth was full of human ships. More were arriving every minute, and they were all moving toward his fleet. He finally understood what the humans had been doing. They had not been trying to win the first battles. They had been learning, studying, preparing. Now they were ready to show the galaxy what happened when someone threatened humanity's home. The strange feeling in Thexkar's chest had a name now. He finally knew what. It was terror. The battle had been raging for 6 hours. Commander Thexkar's flagship shook as another human weapon hit its hull. Sparks flew from damaged controls. The bridge was full of smoke and the smell of burning metal. Half of his fleet was gone, destroyed, by weapons that should not exist, built by a species that should have been easy prey. "Status report," Thexkar shouted over the noise of alarms. 23 ships remaining, Commander," Bexmore replied. His voice was shaking. "Hull breaches on decks 4 through 7, weapons at 60% power. What about the humans?" "Still coming, sir. More ships arrive every hour." Thexkar looked at the tactical display. The space around Earth was crowded with human vessels, thousands of them. They moved like a pack of predators coordinating their attacks, working together in ways the Vorthak had never seen. "Sir," said the communication officer, "we are receiving a transmission from Earth." "Put it through." The screen showed a new face, an older human male with gray hair and tired eyes. He wore a simple uniform with no decorations. Behind him, people worked quietly at their stations. "I am Admiral Donghyun, Supreme Commander of Earth Defense Forces," the man said. His voice was calm, but there was steel in it. "Commander Thexkar, we need to talk." "You want to surrender?" Thexkar asked. Hope filled his voice. "No. We want to give you a choice." "What choice?" "Leave now, or face what comes next." Thexkar felt anger rise in his chest. "You cannot defeat us. We are the apex predators of the galaxy." "Are you?" Admiral Donghyun asked. "Look around, Commander. Look at your fleet. Look at your ships burning in space. Do you still think you are the apex predator here?" Thexkar said nothing. The human was right. His mighty fleet was broken. His warriors were dying. But he could not admit defeat. The Vorthak did not retreat. "You have 1 hour to decide," Donghyun continued. "After that, we show you what humans do to invaders. You have shown us your weapons. We are not impressed." The Admiral smiled. It was a cold, terrifying smile. "Commander, you have not seen our weapons, you have seen our toys." "What do you mean?" "Everything we have used so far was built in the last week, quickly, cheaply, just to test your defenses and learn how you fight." "Impossible." "Is it?" "Let me tell you what we have learned about your species, Commander. You are strong, you are tough, you are good fighters. But you have one weakness." "We have no weaknesses." "Everyone has weaknesses. Yours is that you have never fought anyone like us." The screen changed to show images from the battle. Human ships ramming Vorthak vessels. Explosions in space. Debris floating in the darkness. "You fight to conquer," Donghyun's voice continued. "We fight to survive. You fight for glory. We fight for our children. You fight because you are strong. We fight because we have no choice." The images changed again. Now they showed human factories working day and night. People building weapons and ships. Families saying goodbye as soldiers left for battle. "Do you know what we call this kind of war, Commander? We call it total war. It means everything we have, everything we are, everything we can build or steal or imagine becomes a weapon." Thexkar felt that cold feeling in his chest growing stronger. "What are you saying?" "I am saying you picked the wrong species to threaten. We are not like the others you conquered. We do not break. We do not surrender. We adapt." The screen showed Earth itself. The planet looked different now. Lights covered every continent. Smoke rose from thousands of factories. The whole world had become a war machine. "In 1 week we turned our entire civilization into a weapon pointed at you," Donghyun said. "Imagine what we can do with a month, or a year. You cannot win. We will call for reinforcements. Will you? Let me show you something." The screen changed to show deep space. Far from Earth, Vorthak ships were burning. Human vessels surrounded them, attacking from all sides. "That is Battlefleet Kronos," Donghyun said. "Your reinforcements. We have been tracking them for 3 days. They will not be coming to help you." Thexkar stared at the screen in shock. "How did you find them?" We told you, Commander. We learn fast. We found your communication frequencies. We tracked your signals. We know where all your ships are. That is impossible. No primitive species could what? Could build faster than light communication in a week? Could develop new weapons in days? Could turn their entire world into a war machine? Thexkar had no answer. You keep calling us primitive, Donghyun continued. But primitive species do not split atoms for fun. Primitive species do not build machines that think. Primitive species do not dream of traveling to other stars. The Admiral leaned forward. We are not primitive, Commander. We are young, and young species learn fast when someone threatens their home. What do you want? Thexkar asked quietly. I want you to leave. Take your remaining ships and go. Tell the galaxy what you learned here. And if we refuse, then we show you what comes next. The screen changed again. This time it showed something that made Thexkar's blood freeze. It was Earth's sun, but something was wrong with it. Structures surrounded the star, huge machines that looked like metal flowers. What is that? He whispered. That is what we built while you were fighting our toys, Donghyun said. Do you know what happens when you focus the power of a star into a beam? Thexkar could not speak. We do. We tested it on our own moon's remains. The rocks turned to plasma instantly. The screen showed the test. A beam of pure solar energy hit the floating rocks that had once been Luna. They simply vanished, turned to light and heat and nothing else. That weapon has enough power to destroy planets, Commander, stars, entire solar systems. You would not use such a weapon. Would we not? You destroyed our moon. You killed our people. You threatened our children. What do you think we would not do to protect our home? Thexkar finally understood. The humans were not bluffing. They had built weapons that could destroy stars in 1 week, while fighting a war. You are insane, he said. No, we are human, and you have learned why that is the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. Admiral Donghyun stood up. You have 30 minutes to decide, Commander. Leave now, or learn what happens when humans stop playing with toys. The screen went black. On the bridge of his dying flagship, Commander Thexkar looked around at his surviving officers. They were all looking at him, waiting for orders. For 1,000 years, the Vorthak Empire had never retreated. They had never surrendered. They had never known defeat, but they had never fought humans before. All ships, Thexkar said quietly. Prepare to withdraw. Sir? Nexthal could not believe what he heard. We are leaving, now. But Commander, we cannot retreat. We are Vorthak. Thexkar looked at his second officer. No, Nexthal. We were Vorthak. Now we are survivors, and survivors know when to run. The remaining ships of the 47th Conquest Fleet turned away from Earth. They activated their faster-than-light drives and fled into the darkness of space. Behind them, thousands of human ships watched them go, ready to follow, ready to hunt. The deepest files of the Vorthak Empire, a new report was created. It was classified at the highest level. Only the Emperor himself could read it. The report was simple. Species designation, human. Status, do not engage. Reason, they are not prey. They are apex predators, and they have tasted blood. Across the galaxy, other species heard the story. The mighty Vorthak Empire had fled from a single world. The apex predators of space had met something worse than themselves. Humanity had shown them terror. And the universe would never be the same.